Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you recall, in one of my last bead videos, the DIY Medic Alert beads, the Pandora-like beads, I told you that you could make them with a simple straw, and you pop some eyelets in hot glue them in the ends of the beads. And then you wrap your artwork around it, and then you fill it with resin. And what I did is I hand turned it underneath my my UV light. But I wanted something automatic because I like toys. I like to make things that don't exist. So what I ended up doing is I got this little thing on Amazon. It's not a bead turner. It's for something entirely different. Because even though they make cup turners, and they make little lathes, they're just way out of my budget right now. So I needed something on the cheap that I could put in a drawer because I'm not going to use it 24/7. And I wanted to modify it to make beads and like Pandora-like beads and also pens, turn pens. So I found a solution, and what it is a battery-operated motor, for like little, I think they said like disco balls or, just ornaments to hang from the ceiling. So I took off this little part here because I didn't need it, and this rotates at the perfect revolution per minute, the perfect RPM. Now, I had put electrical tape on this. So hopefully you can see this turning. All right, it's the perfect turning for making resin beads. And what I did is I took, just a cheap straw that you can get at any store. And they come, I don't know, $36.48 per pack. And I put a little bit of electrical tape around here, like, just enough to thread this through. All right, and you want to make it nice and snug. Now, to stabilize it, what I did is I took more electrical tape and I took a bamboo stick and I threaded it through the straw. And tested it, of course, and it makes the perfect revolution. And I was going to cut this off. Well, I still am, but I wanted to show you what I discovered. And I took apart just a regular old cheap Bic pen, and I took out a little ink, and look what I found. Look what I discovered. It is a pen turner. Amazing, huh? So you can just, put your little resin on here and whatever you want to put on there, and then put more resin on it. And when you expose it to UV light, it's got an even distribution of resin on it so that it coats it properly. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish this up and show you how to use it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to cut the little bamboo skewer. I am not going to make a pen right now. And we are going to stabilize this and build it up by adding just a little bit more. And just kind of run it around until you know that you can get your bead snugly in there. Okay, there's a little room, and that's good because we're going to take a piece of packing tape that I've already pre-cut here, and we're just going to wrap this around to protect the you don't have to protect the plastic, but if you use packing tape, you can just peel it right off if you get any resin on it, and then you can just cure it and the resin will just fall right off. And that's always a good thing for easy cleanup. Easy peasy. Okay, let's see if we can get our bead on there. Yep, it's nice and snug. Now I've already made that one, obviously, but I was just using this as an example because when you turn it on, you want to make sure that it turns evenly. Okay? With nothing stopping it. And you don't want to go too far out, but I was really happy when I discovered that I could just do this one as well. Okay, so anyway, the bamboo skewer, it's important to keep that longer, like I showed initially. But yeah, you want to build it up, and you want to, because the longer you have it, the more chance it's going to go like that when it wobbles, or it'll wobble when you have it extended too far. All right, but you know, just make sure that you don't put anything heavy on it. But this works really well for me. And if you see, now I've got to hot glue the ends of these on, but if you see, you can do 2 beads at the same time. As I fumble here with it. But you get the point, right? So I will show you how to turn this after we hot glue these in, and we'll put some artwork on here or make a pretty bead, and then we'll turn it and you can see it in real time. Okay, so let me zoom in here. I have hot glued the ends of these eyelets, or the straw, the ends of the straw to the eyelets. This straw, by the way, it's a McDonald's straw. Works perfect for these beads and these eyelets, just so you know. So we've got 2 different kinds of straws going on here. One smaller one for the shaft, to make the shaft to fit these in here. And then I'm going to take some just regular old, you know, whatever you've got, double-sided adhesive tape. And we're just going to put this on the straw. Wrap it around, and then it'll just, oh, I'm sorry, was I off camera? Yep, I know the manicure is really bad, but I am in the process of cleaning my craft room, and there's just no point. There is no point in doing a manicure. All right, so I'm going to cut this. You can use washi tape. You can use, this is actually a remnant of, I had a whole bunch of glitter, really old glitter glue from a long time ago. And what I did is I saved my wet wipes. I know, I'm not cheap. There's a method to my madness. But they were the nice, soft, thick, cottony baby wipes, all right? And I didn't want to throw them away because, of course, I've done a DIY project with them. But what I did is I painted the the exploded glitter bottle, and I just painted it, let it dry, and made some very useful stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this down, and we will wrap this bead. You probably have too much here. I'm just kind of eyeball it. And get on camera, and then just adhere this to the tape. Now, normally I would tell you to, if this were paper, I would tell you to seal it with packing tape on the front and the back to make it waterproof. But, oh, that's almost a perfect fit. Look at that. My goodness. All right, so we're going to seal this up. Oh, are you kidding me? Look what I just did. Okay. Okay, it was good in the beginning. Oh, well, we can patch it. Let's just patch it. You know? Or redo it. Let's redo it, because, you know, that's what perfectionism is. But, anyway, we'll just redo it. We'll use this tape right here, the rest of that, so we don't waste it. This will just naturally peel off of itself. All right. Sorry about messing up there. All right, so we had this just about right. Cut it a little bit more. Make sure that this is square. Match this up. Eyeball that. And it's like watching paint dry. There we go. This will make a really pretty bead. And nobody will be the wiser on what it is. All right, the other thing that you can do, you know, the pretty duct tape at the dollar store, that's what this is, but it's the end of it, and I didn't want to throw it away. So let's just make another bead. A little bit too thick there. You can really use anything. Again, if you're using paper, I would recommend highly that you seal it in packing tape first. So I'm just going to cut this down. Going to cut a little bit more of the other tape here. I'm just using what I have on hand here. I mean, you can really use anything that you want. There's no rhyme or reason to it. And you can have a whole bunch of these set up. And then I'll show you some lighting, UV lighting options here in a minute. But you know, why waste the ends of this? Let's see. Yep, we're good here. What a pretty bead this is going to make. So duct tape comes in all types of colors. And it's such a simple fix. Now let's hope that I don't do this wrong this time. Just a little bit off. There we go. Look how pretty that's going to be. I used gold this time. Brass. Same thing. Okay, so now we have two different beads. And we are going to put them on the little skewer here. the little makeshift shaft. And since this is covered with tape, it's not going to matter. And you want to make sure that you keep a distance because you don't want the resin to, you know, stick the beads together because that would defeat the purpose. And you want to make sure before you start the resin that nothing wobbles, okay? See, like this one a little bit. I can see where I have to tweak this green one. This is just the paper coming up. So let's get rid of that, and hopefully we won't put another gap in it like I did the other one. Perfect. Perfect. Now, you can do one at a time. I probably should do one at a time, but you can do multiples. I just want to get this video done. So I am going to do 2 at a time. Now let's check it. Make sure nothing wobbles. You can tell a little bit of wobble, but it's not going to make much of a difference. I think it was just the hot glue. Yeah. Okay, so that's not going to make much of a difference. Now, the 2 different lighting things, of course, you have your UV lamp. I have a 48 watt, and that's what you should use minimum. Let me get this stuff out of the way here. Or, oh, and this is just shelf liner that I cut because, see, you don't want this rolling all over the place, right? Defeats the purpose. So all you got to do is literally cut a little bit of shelf liner. Look at that. Magic. And it fits just right in the dead center. Oh, let me see if I can move this closer. Dead center. See, there's enough room on the bottom, and there's enough room on the top. Now, if you really wanted to tweak it out, you could sit a mirror or a piece of tin foil, aluminum foil, underneath this thing. Make yourself a little plate, and then the light would hit it from all sides. They do sell the double-decker, I don't know why I have this on because there's no resin on. But anyway, anytime something comes underneath there, it just automatically turns on. But if you wanted to put tin foil on the bottom, I think that would be a cheap fix. And because the double-decker UV lamps just, in my opinion, they're outrageously expensive. It's just not necessary. So either a mirror or tin foil, aluminum foil. All right. Or I found this. This is, yep, another Temu buy, but it's pretty cool. It came in 2 pieces. Let me just get this out and show it to you. I can't pronounce the name of it. I just can't do it. It came, this is the attachment. Yeah, can't read it. It's a portable lamp stand, though, for nails, okay? So this one is what this came in, right here. And it came up, wrapped up really well. It comes with a USB cord that I just shoved in there, directions, and then some silicone stamps, because literally, it's for nails. You know, fake nails, and you put the silicone, you stamp stuff on, and then you cure it. But this was just a couple bucks. Again, another temptation, but it goes for 45 seconds. And it's magnetic. Look at that. That's pretty cool. And it is on a swivel. So for $2.78, couldn't turn it down. Had to put it with my little arsenal of UV tools. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm going to get rid of this. And this is what it would look like once resin was on here. If you didn't have a UV lamp, you could, still use this with your hand, and then you'd have more control over it. So I just thought I would show you a couple of options, and let's get to the resin. Okay, I'm going to do a very thin coat. I'm going to turn this little motor on here, and I am going to just put a little bit, coat it. And hopefully you can see what's going on here. I'm going to build it up in the middle. And it's not going to drip because you are constantly turning it. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a little paintbrush. Where did it go? Actually, I will take a little pen. And I will coat the sides and make sure it's evenly distributed before I expose this initial one to the UV lamp. Okay. You can use a toothpick, you can use a plastic dental floss thing. You can use whatever your little heart desires. All right, now I'm going to stick it under here for 60 seconds. And you can see that it is turning nicely. And I can just let it go. I'm not going to make you watch a minute of turning, so I will be right back. Okay, this is looking pretty slick after a minute of turning. So it is pretty evenly distributed, but I found my brush. Make sure that you have 91% isopropyl alcohol handy so that you can clean off your brush after you use it in resin. I just have a little squirt bottle here because 70% does not do a thing. Denatured alcohol will clean it, but it stinks to high heaven. And so instead of using a little pin, I'm going to spin this again. And I'm going to use a brush this time. So hopefully you can see this. We're going to put a nice thin bead. I'm going to do one at a time, just so that I can make sure that I get it all over the edges, all over the end caps, the bead caps, eyelets, whatever you want to call it. Okay. And then I'm going to do the other side here. I hope this is showing up clear for you. And then what you're going to do is you're going to continue to build this up in the center. But I want to make sure that I get all of the sides to secure them. And this is working like a pretty slick little tool here. I'm so glad I thought about it. I could not find anything comparable. I thought, you know what, there must be a way to make it. And I was just going to go ahead and buy the whole motor assembly, like they do for the cup turners. but I just didn't want to go through all that. So I'm going to set this again for another 30 seconds. And I will be right back. Okay, I went ahead and I gave this a third coat, just a really thin bead right in the center, a bead of resin, so that we can start getting some depth to our beads. Now at this point, after you get a couple of coats of resin on there, at this point, if you want to add some decals or fake flowers, or whatever, just whatever you want to put on there, I would add it after you put a couple of coats of resin on it. And I am going to cure this for 30 seconds. I really love this little tool I made. I think this is going to be a game changer for me. I hate it when people use game changer, but it is. So I just want to be able to let it cure, sit it down and let it go and do its thing, and and then be done with it. Okay, now this is nicely done here. Oh, by the way, this takes a D-size battery. So you want to make sure and get that, because it doesn't come on Amazon like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a larger bead and build it up even more. This time, whoop, I'm going a little crazy with it. This time I am going to use, oh my goodness, I forgot to clean this, so it's a little sticky. But you want to make sure that you have some even distribution on it. And you can easily do that and build it up. And this doesn't eliminate sanding, okay? But it minimizes it. And anything that saves time is a good thing. Yep, there's a little hump here, but we can fix that. This one's already cured. So I'm just going to go ahead and cure this for a little bit. Be right back. All right, I put another layer on. And you want to make sure that you get all the sides. I would use a plastic toothpick or a dental floss thing. But I just had the pin handy, so why not use it? All right, looking pretty good, right? This is already cured. I have to put several coats on it, but just a little bit. I was a little heavy-handed, but I'm also sitting by a window, so that's not helping matters much. Okay, we're going to, I think we're on our 4th coat on this bead. And if you wanted to do something artistic that had just like weird glass-like designs with your swirls, you could go ahead and do that. See, this is getting thicker and thicker, and you can tell it's beating up quite like beating up. Yeah, no pun intended, but it's working quite well. So I just wanted to show you the difference, and we'll do another round of this. Okay, so you can tell the difference between, now this is turning into a Pandora-like bead. So you've got a bunch of resin on the top that's nice and clear, and I have yet to do this one. Remember, I only started out with that that singular bead in the beginning here, and it turned into this. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to, let's see, I can turn this on for you so you can see the difference. So I'm going to go ahead And there's just a little bit right there that I have to build up, but I really like it. I think it's a pretty bead, you know, and I can always sand that down or I can build it back up. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this off camera because you already saw how I did this one. Same concept. And I'll be back to show you the finished product. Okay. Okay, these are looking pretty darn good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and instead of putting these in a water bath like I normally do to cure, I'm just going to go ahead and spray this. Oh, spray this with water because it works just as well. And then I will expose it for another 30 seconds or so. And if you want, you can just make sure you can brush on the water. Make sure you don't get any water on the end of the shaft here. And this should make it less sticky. And then we are going to test it out. Yep, not sticky. So they look pretty good. All right, I'm going to shut this off. I'm going to take the beads off. They look really pretty. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean them up with a little bit of alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol, 91%. A little bit on here. And look how pretty these turned out. Let me just put this on a straw here so that you can see how pretty they turned out. Look at that. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you found it helpful. And you don't have to spend a fortune. I spent like 10 bucks on it. But you know what? It was worth it for me. I figured if it didn't work, I would just send it back. But it works just fine for what I want it for. And all I had to do is buy a D-cell battery. Oh, and for those of you who want to know what the RPMs are, they are 30 RPMs, revolutions per minute. And yeah, just using, my desk is really messy here, sorry. Let me zoom in so you can't see the horrendous desk. Anyway, but yeah, this looks really, really good. So just with simple household tools, you can be amazed at what you can do. So, all right. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe, share, do whatever you want to do with it. And yeah, make yourself some Pandora-like beads. All right, and a little DIY automatic resin turner. Cool. All right, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.